things again we need for this DIY. We need, of course, our tumbling towel blocks, the smaller blocks. I have here my container with everything inside, some markers, brushes, scissors, some mud pot, some twine, and of course the wood glue. What will we do without them? I have here some paint, and you see a little bit already on the colors. What we're going to do, at least I hope I can mix it into the color I need, because we're going to make an Grinch. So we will see how this one will turn out. And of course I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel to wipe away the glue. These are the main things we need for this DIY. So first we're going to start with the under layer, because we're going to do it in layers. We're going to start with a layer with 7 blocks and a layer with 6 blocks. So first 6 blocks, 7 blocks in a row. We do some glue over here, and this is maybe also if you are decorating with the Grinch. This is of course so much fun to do, but even if you don't decorate with Grinch, but maybe your children do or grandchildren like the Grinch, it's always having fun to make one for them. So again, the one of 7, we just do the lines, and we only need to do 6 because number 7 will be the closure up, and this is number 6 and number 7. We're going to squeeze it from the inside to the outside. Over here, squeeze it and make sure that you have a nice straight line. We're going to wipe away the glue, and afterwards always go look that you have a nice straight line. We're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. So now we gave it a couple of minutes. What we're going to do, we're going to do some glue on the block of 6 over here. Just make sure that you have a little bit of glue on each block. We're going to place this on top of here and make sure that we have on each side the same space for gluing it together. I show it to you in a moment a little bit closer, but this will be the start of our layers of our Grinch. And again, we're going to place it down and make sure this way, and always also put it a moment on the side. That's always better, than you get the blocks on this side also even. So, and now we're going to let it dry in for at least a couple of minutes. In the meantime, while this is drying, we're going to do the next layer, and the next layer will be 8 blocks. And we already have 8. We just do again some glue on the side, on the longest, smallest line. And I love the Grinch. I find him so cute. But of course, to do my whole house with the Grinch, we don't have enough decorations here in the Netherlands. It is coming a little, the Grinch, but not too much. If I see in some stores, especially I think like Hobby Lobby, Walmart, but you do have more, and there is the Grinch so big. So maybe it also flies over to the Netherlands. You never know. We have a couple of the pieces of the Grinch, but not too much. We have to make our own. So again, we're going to give it a couple of minutes drying also. So now I have here the piece of 8 with 8 blocks in a row. We place this one down. This is the 6 will be the underside. And this is how it's looking like closer. You see here, this is the underside, the 6 blocks. So we have the top is 7. We're going to do very carefully, because everything is not totally dry. You just make a little pattern on top of here. Make sure that you have all the blocks, and we're going to place this straight up, and we place this straight up, and we place this one against here. So very gently you're going to press it a little and make sure that you have it halfway over here and halfway on this block. And again, we're going to let this dry in again. Now we're going to make another row, and we're going to do another row of, you guess probably, 9. So again, just lay 9 blocks next to each other, but we do this 2 times. So we do again a row of 9, because we double it up, because he his belly needs to be a little bit thicker. So this is 2 pieces of 9. We place this aside, and we do here the same. And of course, this is step by step. So I hope you enjoy the step by step. If you don't, maybe you skip forward a little, or maybe this channel is totally nothing for you if you don't like that it is step by step. Some people like a little bit of the speed in a DIY and that it needs to go a little bit quicker, I totally understand. But on this channel it is always step by step because I want that everyone can make the DIY. So this way we're going to squeeze it and we press it together. This way, start from the inside because or else it is popping out. And again, we're going to squeeze it from the side again. And over here, we're going to get our piece of towel and we're going to wipe away. And again, make sure that you make a nice straight line again. And this way. And you're going to let it rest for a couple of minutes. So we gave a couple of minutes. We're going to do some lines over here again. From one side to the other one over here, and we place this piece on top of here, and this will be both of them in a straight line because the measurement of the blocks are the same, 2 pieces of 9, and we're going to press it a little and we look for the side are straight, and we're going to give this also a couple of minutes. So again, if everything is correctly, you have already this piece row 6, row 7, row 8. We're going to place this one over here and we're going to do again some lines over here, over every block, and this way. And now we're going to place it straight up and we're going to place this against here, and again give it some pressure and make sure that again halfway the block over here and halfway over here. Then you have the right size, and we're going to give it a little bit of pressure and we're going to let this dry in, place it aside, and we're going to get now the last of at least the widest of the row. We're going to get 10 blocks. So we have 5 and we have already 10, and we're going to do only 1 of 10, not 2, only 1. Place them together. And again, you have to glue 9, and number 10 is the closure up again. Let me know in the comments if you are going to make this Grinch, because I would love to know it. And of course, if you are making it and you don't mind, maybe you can send a picture, because I would love to see it how yours turned out, because this is only an inspiration and you can change it up any way you like. I have to do with the things I have because the color is not here. We don't have the faux fur in that color green, so I have to improvise a little bit what I have. So again, the 1 of 10 is drying right now. So you see, this is the double 9 is now also on top of here. You see, this one is a straight line over here. So what I'm going to do again, we are going to do some glue on the 1 of 9 over here and here, and we're going to place this on the side, place number 10 over here, and again halfway the block over here, and give it some pressure. Now we're already on the half of his belly, so we're going to place this aside. We're going to get now 9 blocks. Of course, for not everyone likes this because it's a little bit boring if you're just going to count only. So it is a little bit of a counting, but we have to make our rows. This is 1 of 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 9 we're going to do again 2 times. So we do a row, 1 row again, and a row number 2, because we're going to double it up again, because we're going to make it now slimmer, at least thinner on the top. At least I hope I make sense, but I show it to you every time because it's Monday again, and Mondays is not my greatest for my for my English. So I'm going to do this one and the last, and now we have our 2 rows of 9 again. We're going to squeeze it, press it together this way. We do here the same from the inside to the outside again. We're going to give it some pressure, and we're going to wipe away the glue and straighten up the lines again, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes. So again, 1 of the 9, I'm going to do some wood glue on top of here. And of course this one, this DIY you can easily do with hot glue, because if you are a little bit careful, then you can easily do this one with hot glue. Place it on the side, give it some pressure over here and like this, and we're going to squeeze it and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So you see, this is the underside until the 10, but I was looking on the side this way, and I'm going to glue this on top of here to make the belly smaller, but I don't like the 1 of 10. I think I'm going to double it up with again a row of 10. So that's why I never know how many blocks I use, because I always change it up at any moment. So I have here 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because I hope then it looks a little better. Because if you look at right now and you do again a double up of 9 over here, you get one little piece which is sticking out. And I think it's too small. So I'm going to go for 1 row of 9. So it is very easy. You have 1 of 6, 1 of 7, 1 of 8, 2 of 9, and it will be 2 of 10, and then again 2 of 9. So it is very easy, but I have to change it up because I don't like it. It's too small. So I'm going to give it a 1 layer extra, and like this, and number 9. And then we're going to squeeze it together from the inside again to the outside, and we're going to squeeze it over here. Do a little bit of wiping away, and we're going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So I'm going to get my bigger piece, of course. I'm going to do some glue on the top, and we can do on the whole part, because this is again 1 of 10, and we place this 1 of 10 also in front, and we're going to place it aside, give it some pressure over here, very easy. And now we make the belly a little bit bigger, and now we're going to do some glue on this one, the 2 of 9, and we're going to place this one over here, and again half blocks, so like this. And I think I liked it better, especially when it is painted. Always when you make this kind of DIYs, it's always difficult because it changes so much when you do the paint over it. Now when you're going to look from, oh my, is this going to work or not? But when you paint it, it's always better. We place this aside. Maybe I can show it to you a little bit closer. This is how it's looking like. You see, especially this is the 2 of 9, the 2 of 10, and again the 2 of 9. And now we're going to build it again to each other. So we need 8 blocks. And we make 1 row of 8, because we're going to go smaller now. And I hope I liked it better, because the underside is fine. And number 7 and number 8 is the closure up. I'm going to squeeze it. And we're going to let it dry in again. So here's the 1 of 8, but we have to wait a couple of minutes. So we're going to make again already the 1 of 7. So we go 1 of 7. We do here the same, just the smaller side, and so we can work a little bit harder. This is number 7, and we're going to squeeze them together this way, and we're going to make a row of 6. Again 3 over here, and a row number 6. And then I hope it goes a little bit faster. And we're going to squeeze them together. We're going to give them all a little bit of rest. So now we do some glue on the 1 of 8. We're going to do some glue. And over here. And we're going to place this against here. And you see half blocks from each other again. And we do here also with number 7. Again, some glue on all the blocks. place them straight up, and they are still not dry totally. If it falls apart, just place it together again. It will glue easy. And we have now number 6, and we do some glue over here, and we place this one also in front, and again, and it looks already a little bit more like a round belly. So again, we're going to wipe away our table because or else we are under the glue. And again, I have to do this one a little bit more to the right. So this is already one, and now we're going to make row number 5, and this will be the last of the belly. So we're going to do some glue over here and over here, and number 4, and this is the last. We're going to squeeze it, and we're going to press it together. So now we're going to do some glue on the row of 5. So over here the same, we place this here, and we place this on the top again halfway, and in a moment I show it you a little bit closer, like this. So this is how it's looking like so far. Now we're going to go further with the middle piece, the neck, and then we're going to do the head, but we already have the belly. So again, we're going to give it some pressure, and we're going to place this aside. Now we're going to get 4 blocks. This is already 1, and this is number 2. So we're going to row them together, and this one, and place them together, and the last, and this, and we're going to squeeze it, and we do here the same. Of course, he wants already to pop out, and again we're going to wipe away the glue, but I think you already know the drill. Again, like this, up. And then we're going to give it a couple of minutes. So now we're going to do some glue on the 1 of 4, and over here, and we place this one on top of here, place it on the side, and give it a little bit of pressure, and we're going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes, and we're going to wipe away our mat because we don't want too much glue on our table. Again, wipe this also, and make sure that you have a straight line again. So now we're going to keep the 2 doubles up of 4. We're going to use as a base, as the neck. There we're going to start with. We're going to now start with his head. We have 5 blocks, and we're going to do some glue on the sides again, and number 4, and we're going to squeeze it. We do a 1 of 6 again. This is 6 pieces, and this is again 1 row. So squeeze them together. We place this over here, we place this one over here, and now we're going to do a 1 of 5, 6, 7. 4. I have to count myself because or else we're going wrong. So we now do 1 of 7. So we have 2 of 4, we have 1 of 5, 1 of 6, 1 of 7, and then we are almost halfway his head, and again we're going to squeeze it this way, and we're going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to wait a couple of minutes. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the 1 of 4, we're going to do some glue on the double of 4, that it is some texture on all the blocks, of some glue on all the block. We're going to place the 1 of 5 on the sides again, and we're going to do it, make sure that you have the blocks halfway, and again we're going to place it down. We do here some glue, and again some lines. We place now on the side again, we take the 1 of 6, we place them over here also halfway, give it some pressure, and we place it on the side again, and just be careful because everything can fall apart, but like I told you earlier, it is fine. Just glue it together again, and it is ready to go again. And number 7 will be on the side, and you have just a little stair on the sides, and we're going to give it a little bit of wiping off the glue. So if everything is correctly, you have right now already a first half of his head. We place this aside. We're going to get now 8 blocks. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and we do this double up over here. I think I need 2 again, and of course you can easily measure it out this way. We do some glue on the sides again, and then we are over the half of his head, and then we are going to count down, and this way, and the last, and over here, block number 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and again number 8 is the closure up. We're going to squeeze it together. We squeeze this one together, and we're going to give it some rest a couple of minutes. So now we're going to do some glue on one of number 8 blocks of the row of 8 blocks, and we're going to place this one on top of here, place it on the side, make sure that you have them nicely stick together in one straight line on the sides, and we're going to give this a couple of minutes also. So we are going to place this one, and we're going to do some glue on the tops of the one of 7 over here, place it down, and we place this one against here, half blocks from each other, and this is already the half of his head. At least we are already over the half of his head. We're going to place this aside, and what we're going to do, we are going to get 7 blocks, and we make a row of 7. But I see already on the side, if you look carefully, you see I have some glue which is coming out. I'm going to get my small brush, and I'm going to wipe it away, because later you get it really hard away. So I'm going to get my brush and wipe it away. So such a small brush like this, and you just easily just go around the sides and just wipe it away, and then we can place it on the side again. Now we have the 7 blocks, and we do a 1 row of 7, and this way, and the last, and we're going to squeeze it. Then we're going to go for 1 of 6, 4, 5, 6, and I do it a little faster, because now we're going to build the round of his head, and again going to squeeze it, and now we're going to make 1 of 5. We do them over here, and do some glue on the side. And if you have questions, of course, leave them in a comment down below, because I would love to answer. If you have any questions on which DIY, of course, you can ask me anything. So I'm going to wipe away the glue, and then we're going to glue this also on top. So now we're going to do some glue on the row of 7. Very easy. This way, and we're going to place it in front, and again make sure that you stick it nicely on top of each other. Now the row of 6 again over here, we place this one also over here. You see already the round is coming space by space. Of now, that's not layer by layer, that's better. I don't know, space by space. I don't know. I don't know how you get this space by space. At least layer, every layer you do, you see that it is getting more and more like a round again. And now we already have 5. We only need 1 of 4 and 1 of 3. And then we, if everything is correctly, we have his head, at least if I am happy with it. So we will see if this is correctly or not. Of course, I always forgot that I still needed to do 1 block, and again squeeze it and squeeze it. So now we do some glue on the 1 of 4, and we place this over here the same we do here with the 1 of 3, And we place this on top of here, and I'm going to leave it with the ending with the 1 of 3, but you can do it smaller, but I'm going to go for here because he still needs a little hair on top. So I'm going to leave it with this one, and I'm going to give it a couple of minutes, and then we're going to glue the head and the body on top of each other. So now if everything is correctly, you also have your head this way. You are starting with the double 4 and you're ending with the ankle of 3. So it is 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 of 8. Then you go back to 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3. This will be his head. So we place this over here, and you have now his body. And what you're going to do, we're going to turn this over. We do some glue on the 4 block over here, and we place this down. We place this over here, and we're going to make sure that we squeeze this to each other this way. And again, half block. If here is a half block and here is a half block. And then we're going to let this dry. So in the meantime, while our body, his belly and of course his head are drying, we're going to get 3 blocks, and again 3 blocks, another one of 3, 4 pieces of 3. What we're going to do is very easy. We're just going to do some glue in the middle, place this one on top, do some glue in the middle, place this one on top. We do here the same, place this one on top, and again some glue, here the same, place it on top, just on the wider side of your block. We do it over here and over here, and now we're going to place it on the side. We're going to squeeze them, place it on the side, squeeze it, and this way and this way, and we're going to wipe away the glue because you see already there is some glue coming out. We do here the same. Make sure that you keep it every time in a straight line when you wipe away the glue. So again, make sure that you place it together again, and here also the same. And we're going to let this dry in. So now we have our 4 blocks of 3, and we are going to do 2 of them. We're going to lay this way with the short sides, this flat, so you have 3 small sizes like this. Then we're going to do some glue under this one, and we're going to place this one on top over here. We do here the same, some glue, and we place this one over here. What you also can do is place them this way and then glue them together. It's also the same, and maybe it glues a little bit better than what I did. So, and I show it to you in a moment a little bit closer how he really is glued, because then you can have in your head how it's supposed to be. So I did let the body dry in a little, and of course you already see what it is. It are his feet, and so easy to make. Don't make it yourself harder than it is, because when you are going to paint it, it looks so much different. So I have now his feet, and I'm going to turn the body over on upside down, and I'm going to glue the feet, one over here, and I'm going to glue one over here like this. Over here, I need, see already, I need some glue. I'm going to glue them on the top side and place them in the middle over here. And I do here the same. I have to look that I have it right, that I don't have them wrong glued on top of here. That's not what we want. And we do this one over here, and we leave a little space in between, not too much. And now we're going to keep it in place for a little moment, and then you see in a moment a little bit closer how they are glued together. And here you see already how he is dried up, and if you are looking, it almost looks like Big Bird. So you can also paint it in the yellow. The yellow color. Here in the Netherlands we call it Pinot, and Pinot with us is blue, but you call it Big Bird and he's yellow. So you can also make a big bird out of it. So I'm going to, I'm really happy with the base of this Grinch. Now I was a little playing around with my paint. And you see already I was a little bit, what if I could get the right color, but I just did some yellow and some green. And if you do a little bit of green, just don't do too much. You can always do extra. Just start with the base of yellow and then do a little bit of the lighter green with it, and you can easily just make the color you like. So I'm going to paint this whole piece in this green color because I like a little bit of the brighter green, but of course you can change it up any way you like. Like I told you, you can even make a big bird. So I'm going to mix this a little bit more so I have enough for the whole piece. So I have the color mix that I like, so I'm going to get my brush, and of course I'm going to start with his feet, and I'm just going to give it a nice green color. And this paint is not covering totally, and that's what I like, that still the wood is coming through to give a little bit of a different look than you would normally have, but you can change it up any way you like. So I take my time for it and we're going to paint it. So in the meantime, while the Grinch is drying, I have here a piece of faux fur. You buy them in a roll, and this one was 2 meters long. So, but of course I only need one piece. You see, this is what I mean. This is the inside, and faux fur is on the outside, because I don't have the green fur I need. I only need a little piece for his the top, his hair, and of course I think I'm going to try to make 2 furry arms, but I don't know if this will succeed. But for his head I'm going to do a little piece this way and again this way, and there I'm going to measure it out because I don't need too much. So I'm going to cut out this piece, very easy. And what I'm going to do for his arms, I think I'm going to go for, I think maybe this length. I think we're going for this one, and I'm going to do this, of course, double it up. I do another one, and this way, and I'm going to place this aside. And I'm going to do, because I don't have the color, this is just an experiment. I did it already one time earlier, but that did work out. But I don't know with this kind of paint, because this paint is different, I don't know if this will wait. So I'm going to get my green paint, the same paint I painted also the Grinch itself, and now I'm going to go over my faux fur, and we will see how this will turn out. I really have no idea. Of course there are coming hairs out of it, don't worry about it. So I'm just going to, yeah, kind of how you call it, stamping, also what you do with, if you're going to stample. And don't worry with the pieces, that's just because you are going to, and just place off the loose pieces, because that's always normal when you cut it off. And I'm going to do again some on the side and over here, and just go a couple of times over it, and that the color is taking, the fur is taking the color. So, and I'm going to dab it as much as I like. So when I think he is green enough, and that's what I also going to do with the arms. And so you can easily give it the color your own Grinch is also, because not everyone has the color green laying beside of in their stash. And the greatest about this one is, of course, you have exactly the same color. So that's always great. So again, just remove the pieces which are loose, and you're just going to get some new, and just go over it. And then we're going to let it dry. So I'm going to do this one and this one also. So my faux fur is drying, of course, and now I'm going to try to make his face. You know, everyone who is here a long time, I'm not great in faces, so I'm going to do my best. So I'm going to take my just a little pencil, and I'm going to make a little sketches already in front before I'm going to get my paint, because the Grinch has a really difficult face, especially for me. He has a difficult face, so I'm going to try to draw something on top, and then I show you, so I can take my time, and for you also take your time for making the face, because but maybe you also can, yeah, I don't know, maybe you can stencil it on top of here, I don't know, but I'm going to do my best. So I did draw out my face. Of course, there are people who can do it much better than me. I know. I'm going to get my marker. And this is just an, you can use for calligraferen, we call it. And this is a little bit of the dark gray. So I'm going to do the smallest one. This is the biggest one. The smallest one, I'm going to make my lines around, and then I'm going to fill it in with some paint, because I want to be sure that nothing is going outside the piece I want to have it. So I'm going to get my marker and just going to go out of the lines, and I'm going to go over here and make the first lines. So I'm going to be sure that it will be nicely together. So again, over here, and I do this one over here, and you see already now I have his mouth. Now I'm going to go for the nose, and he's a little bit in a round, yeah, a triangle, a little bit this way, and later I'm going to fill it in. And I'm going to go for the eyebrows. And I'm going to go for this one. And a little bit thicker. But you see, even when you are not really a great drawer, you're just going to try. Just always start with a simple gray pencil. You always can get your eraser and just erase it out. But of course, then I'm going to go over with my marker, and then we're going to go for the eyes and make little points this way. Very easy. And now I'm going to do this one, and again also in a round, and this, and now I have at least the base of my eyes. So I'm going to let this dry in for a little moment, and then we're going to fill it in. So now I did get my yellow, this one, and I'm going to do the inside of the eyes. So very easy. Just go very careful around the lines and just fill it in as best as you can. I'm going to take my time for it, and then you see how I made it. So my eyes are yellow. Now the only thing I need to do is a white little dot on the top side. Of course, I did it already, at least my brush was already in the paint, and that's not what we want yet. Because we do the back side of the brush, just a simple round, and I'm going to dip it in the paint, and I'm going to make a little dot on the top over here, and I do on the other side the same. And I'm going to let this dry in. So now we're going to get the last step, and that is we're going to get this smaller piece, and we're going to try to make a kind of a little pluck of his hair, a little piece of his hair for the top. But of course we have to be sure that it is not really too wide, because that's also not really great to see. So I'm going to look for as small as I can. So I'm going to do some glue. I'm glue this one over here and over here, and we're going to just simply fold it in. And of course you can see some white through, but later we're going to get the paint and we're going to paint also the pieces inside. But first I want to be sure how my piece is looking like. So this is already one, and now I'm going to try to place this one inside and this one inside, and then we get a nice little small piece. But do whatever you think it's right. So I'm still debating if I need to make it smaller again. I think I'm going to go for a little smaller. So I'm going to do some glue on the inside over here and over here, and I'm going to try to get it even smaller. And this is a little bit of a task. Of course, we have to keep it in place for a little moment. This is one big mess with glue, but do it whatever you think it's right. Of course, you see already I'm stuck to my own hair. So I'm going to remove the glue and I'm going to let this dry in for a little moment, and then we're going to do the side inside. So it is a little bit of a task, and I did cut off a little piece. Now you can see I just rolled it. You see some paint coming through, and I'm going to get some glue on some paint on my fingers and just easily rub it in. That works better than do it with my brush, and just go and you make a nice little round, and this works much better. Of course you get dirty hands, but this paint is easy to wash off. So you see, and he looks so much better right now. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to do the top a little bit with some green, or else it is not really a nice side. We do this over here the same, and again rub it in like this, and then we're going to let it dry and place it on his head. And I think then he is really finishing it off. And I'm going to do the same with the arms, because the arms I also I place it over here, and you see the arms are going, of course, also inside. Make just a little round and then glue it together and just do it this way. And I think I have more than enough for 4 arms, so I think we can cut this one out halfway, and then I'm going to glue them on the side. But you see it in a moment, so very easy. Just get your hot glue, place it over here, just roll it in like this, and then we're going to rub it in with the green paint, because that works much better than what I did. Of course, you have already the 4 stage, so now we're going to finish it off with our fingers. And yes, you get green, but it is easy to go away. So you see already the 3 pieces, the 2 arms and a little bit of his hair, and I'm going to glue it on the top. Of course, you can place it anywhere you like. So I'm going to do some glue on the top side of his head. I don't know if you can see it. I take you a little bit closer because he's a little bit higher. Oh, maybe this way. I'm going to do some glue, a little line over here in the middle, and I'm just going to place my piece on top of here. I have to look if I know I have this side, and I'm going to place it on top of here and let it rest in for a little moment. And then we're going to do the arms. So I'm going to get one of his arms, and I'm going to do for the 4th row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and in this row I'm going to glue it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do some glue in this line. Of course I need some glue stick. He was popping out. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over here, and I'm going to make a thick line with some glue inside to make sure that he will stick in place. So I'm going to squeeze it inside and keep it in place for a little moment. Of course, you don't see it. I'm sorry. I'm just going to place it on this side, and I'm going to give it some pressure in between. And now we're going to do some glue. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we do some glue on this side. And I'm going to place my ending over here, and I'm going to place it inside of this piece, and I'm just going to keep it in place for a little moment again. And the great thing is it's exactly the same color, so it doesn't matter if it's still a little bit wet because your piece is also green, so it doesn't matter. So we're going to give it a couple of seconds, and then we're going to get very easy. We do some glue over here, and I'm going to place mine over here and the other one over here, so we get kind of his hands over here. You see in a moment a quick impression.